Follow Martin on Instagram for some more crazy tricks like that. But anyway, what up, it's Brandon here, welcome back to Bladed News, your #1 rollerblade news source. Once again brought to you by Sweet Moves, the Wellington, New Zealand based rollerblader owned and run moving company. Check the link in the description to get a quote today. But anyway, let's just roll into it with some industry news. And the first story I want to talk about today is a sad and scary story around Fritz. So you may have seen this posted on Instagram and Facebook. Fritz took a really bad fall skating while he was down for the Pow Wow comp. He ended up fracturing his skull in multiple places, which put him in hospital where he has multiple issues including internal bleeding and a blood clot, but he is in a stable condition as of the last update that I've seen. In the last update I saw in his situation, there was reports of him waking up freaking out because people he know weren't around him because of the recent situations happening around the globe right now. And restrictions on visiting in hospitals. So Fritz actually runs a skate shop and he's done a lot for the rollerblading community. I've never personally talked to him or known him at all, but just judging by the amount of people that have reached out to me to talk about this, it's pretty clear that he's a great dude that really looks out for other people. So Fritz is in ICU right now, and since it's in America where no one gets free healthcare unlike here in New Zealand, you can imagine there's going to be quite a big medical bill for him. His mother is estimating around $100,000. Because of this, Josh Glowicki started a GoFundMe to help cover this cost. That'll be linked in the description. If you have any spare cash or something, please donate and help him out. And it's a very scary time for him. If I know anything about the rollerblading community, they're going to come through for someone who deserves it, and Fritz deserves it. So I'll be thinking of you, man, and I wish you all the best in your recovery. And if I want to summarize a moral from the story, if you're on the fence about wearing a helmet, this story really reinforces the importance of wearing one. It doesn't matter how good you are at skating, it just takes that one slip up for you to lose the ability to walk or to even die just because you're not wearing a helmet. But this is rollerblading, obviously everyone can do what they want. I ain't gonna force you to wear a helmet, but I think you should consider it as someone who took the change thanks to Bladed Union a couple years back now. But anyway, check out the GoFundMe link in the description if you have some spare money. Speaking of Pow Wow, due to recent scary events around the globe, it ended up becoming a secret private comp, meaning it was no longer open to the public. But the comp did happen. I've seen no footage of it yet, and I think that's got something to do with the whole secret comp now. Results are in, and Grant Hazelton came away with first, followed by Philip in second and Garrett in third. I'm going to be hanging out to see some footage of this comp. Right now, all I could find was Bladed Union's tour of the facilities before the comp, so yeah, I look forward to that. Speaking of Bladed Union though, they just added a new feature to their website and app, and that is an event calendar. Now the idea behind this was to make one central place to see every rollerblading event that's going on, and the way they're going to do that is by making it very easy for event organizers to put their event on this calendar. So if you want to check that out, it's under binge on the app and the website. You can't submit events from a mobile phone at the moment, either the app or the website on the mobile phone. You have to do it from a desktop, but they have plans of adding ways to do that later, as far as I know. Now I'm just going to put in a little side complaint here that I'll probably cut out, but who knows. But I do find it quite hard to navigate around Bladed Union's website, I'm not going to lie. Pretty hard for me to tell the difference between Daily Blade, Channel 2, Binge. Maybe there's someone that tells me what the difference is, but yeah, I think there could be some clearer names and titles there. But that's just some feedback. I know Bladed Unions are the rollerblading saviors, so I have no complaints about them other than that. So yeah, I'll shut up now. But anyway, so I know you're all completely sick of hearing about coronavirus, but I'm going to briefly mention it here because this is one of the only things happening all around the world right now, and it's causing a lot of delays in the rollerblading industry, including delays on the Acosta TUFR wheel, as well as the M99 and a bunch of other products. So I'm going to let you guys know that you're probably going to have to be a little bit more patient than you usually have to be with pre-orders right now. Just be prepared for them to be late. I wouldn't even keep an eye on tracking them if I was you, because it's going to be painful. I have a feeling it's just going to be very inaccurate with a lot of delays. And just to reiterate advice you're hearing everywhere, wash your hands, self-isolate, and stay safe out there, guys. These are very scary and unsettling times, so we can all make it through it. Enough of that though. Let's move on to everybody's favorite part of the show, product news. Starting off with a product that I absolutely love that I somehow got early access to, and that is the new Konjure Kosmic Pro Wheel for Ryan Parker. And it's this one right here. Coming in this beautiful orange color, it's the amazing rocket profile that you've seen before that I praised so much. It's the best wheel for skating flat. There's absolutely nothing like it. It's been changed a little bit more since the first and second iteration of the Konjure Kosmic wheel. Now it is a 58mm wheel coming in at 93 hardness. And you may have been thinking what I'm thinking. Making the wheel hard is going to make it a lot less grippy, right? But I can tell you from experience that these wheels are just as grippy as they are in the 89A that they had in the first ones. Which really is surprising to me. It's just a great urethane, I think. I prefer the harder wheel, which is not like me. I definitely prefer a softer wheel. But the wheels just feel more responsive. They still grip to the ground like you'd want. And the whole setup just feels so fast, and I cannot recommend these wheels more. I'll have a more in-depth review coming later, so subscribe to see that. But yeah, check out Konjure wheels. They'll be linked in the description. Tell me this isn't like the perfect color scheme. Tell me it isn't. I'm not entirely sure if this is a new product, but S9 Bearings released new pro variations of the bearings where each color represents a certain pro rider for the team, and every time you buy one, $1 goes to the pro associated to that color, which is just really smart. And Derek Henderson's behind that company, so you know, top quality, and it'll be sick, so definitely recommend checking them out. Ricardo Lino's Wheel Addict shirts are now available at Head On Skate Shop, which I really like to see because it's another time where the bridge between pro skater and content creator skater is getting merged. Even though Ricardo technically was a pro skater at one point, I'm still counting this as a win, just like the Acosta Pro Wheel for TUFR. Shout out to Head On Skate Shop for doing that and supporting rollerblades everywhere, man. I always hear they're the first ones that have pro skaters back, so definitely check them out. Speaking of new clothing, my clothing company Laced is releasing 2 new designs today. I'm going to put it on. I was wearing it, but it's way too hot. I'm going to put it back on. I got this new hoodie, which has embroidered Blade written on it with my favorite setup skate, the M12 with the solar frames and some bright yellow wheels. I kind of wish I did orange now, but yeah. It's comfy, it's high quality, and it supports my channel. I also got a new t-shirt with this bright rainbow of colors saying Lace, representing the hopeful bright future for Lace this year because I have a lot of plans for it. I wore it in my last video. The true fans would have seen it already. But yeah, they're both live and out now. You can buy them and support me with the link in the description. They're in very limited numbers. I did a super limited run, so they're gonna sell out fast, hopefully. So if you really want to get one, I'd act right now before they're gone. But anyway, I'm gonna take this off because it's way too hot to wear it. I would be wearing the other Lace tee, but it has a green leader in it, and I cannot be bothered cutting that out like I've done for the other videos with green screen. So that's why I'm not wearing it. It's a great shirt. They're all comfy, and they support me, and yeah. Just check them out. And to finish off product news, I'm going to talk about a really loose lead that I got from the Jump Street podcast with Bobi Spazov, and that is he pretty much confirmed that he's going to have another pro skate later this year. So I look forward to seeing what that is. But anyway, let's move on to my favorite part of the show, media you should check out. Starting off with that Jump Street podcast, I learned so much about Bobi here, and he is such a cool guy, man. I can find a lot of stuff he's talking about very relatable. And even in this video, he mentions that him and Niels Jansen have already filmed a VOD. He's just got to edit. It's going to be called Bobi X Niels, and I cannot wait to see it. Speaking of VODs, Sandy Bastards, you know the VOD that I said was out last episode, which wasn't out at the time, but it's definitely out now. I've got the link in the description. Highly recommend checking that out. I've already done 2 videos on Winter Clash, but we're going to mention it again here because there's an after movie release, which is really good. It's got a lot of high quality filming in it. None of the shaky cell phone camera looking stuff that we saw straight after the comp, so I highly recommend checking it out. We got a new video from Back to Blading where Law is continuing to build his backyard skate park, which is what everyone should be doing now in self-isolation. Build that backyard skate park. There's no better time than now. You're going to have the time, and it's possibly going to be the only way you can skate right now. Plus, there's also a really good video, so check it out. Ground Control released a new team video called Ground Control LA, and it's got some really good skating with a really solid team. There's this one switch up here which just blew me away, man. Those legions look so fun. I hope I get to see them in person one day and maybe do a top sell. And this ender by Yuto was just so smooth, man. No one can sweat stance like he can, man. So sick. How can sweat stance be a safe move? I don't know if it is, but it seems like it's a safe topside, which is just mental. We also got this massive long remix of Dominic Sagona called A Decade in Skating that I highly recommend checking out. Some crazy skating in there. Now, as always, I'd stop mentioning this, but I feel like people have gotten confused recently, but links to everything will be in the description, including a link to a bonus video, which I didn't mention, which I also recommend checking out. But yeah, that's it for Blading News. But Of course, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on anything I talked about today. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to support the series, shop at Laced with the new drop today, or you can support me on Patreon, or you can just subscribe. It helps just as much. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Huge shout out to my patrons, Acosta Blades, Adam, Kevin, Chris, Deb, Dennis, Fabian, Joel, Lake Brothers Blading, Mark, Mike, Nathaniel, Sweet Moves, Skids Grind Plates, Sean, Tagi, and the Book of Grinds. And I'll see everyone next week if I ain't quarantined. Peace out.